Peace to all the gods in the earth, here to resurrect the universe. You're now tuned in to the God Cinema 9. And this is your host, Sharad, Peaceful Man. The name of this video topic is going to be called The Power of the Kabbalah Book Review. The Power of the Kabbalah Book Review. We're going to, get a in-depth synopsis on one of the concepts that were projected within the confinements of the book. But before we do so, let's just talk about the foundation here of the God Cinema 9. We build on esoteric knowledge. We build on science, which we're, building on this book review. We also build on astrology, which is basically the focal point of this channel, is using the information or sharing information on how the energy from the planets or the angelic beings affect us humans here in this earth. That's what we talk about here. We also talk about history, man. History of us as melanated people. We also speak about linguistics, understanding the significance of language, and understanding the importance of decoding or basically getting a deeper analysis, understanding the language. If I don't speak Spanish, then if you speak in Spanish, I'm not going to understand what you're saying. So we talk about communication, man. We do motivation and also inspiration, man. So this is just a one-stop shop for spiritual information, for elevation, for peace, and for love, and for unity. So let's go ahead and start building. So this book was written by an author by the name of Yehuda Berg. Yehuda Berg, Yehuda Berg, Berg. And this book is entitled The Power of the Kabbalah to Technology for the Soul. That's the power of Kabbalah, the technology of the soul. The technology of the soul. What the components of the soul and what the soul is based of. Soul is based on our emotions, our imagination, our will, our motivation. You know what I'm saying? They're based on the soul is just based on so many different derivatives and points and conduits here. But he uses the concepts or the Hermetic principles, which basically represents what the Kabbalah is, or the Kabbalion, that were written by the three Hermetic initiatives that were Greek. And, I believe those three initiates to be Phoenician. You know what I'm saying? By history, they did have, great knowledge. Okay, great knowledge. And these are those that were exiled by Joshua. Okay, and exiled by Joshua and went and made kingdoms and lands, in Africa. Okay, and that kingdom was called Morocco. Okay, so that's where a lot of that's basically the conduit, because there is also the throat chakra for the planet Earth, or Gaia's throat chakra is located in Egypt. And that's where the Hermetic principle came from, and the Kabbalah of the Kabbalion came from. So the author took a very deep analysis and broke down so many different concepts, and basically took all the Hermetic principles, like the 7 Hermetic principles and all these things, and he just basically made it like baby food, man. It's like he took like the meat of the word, man. He just broke it down like made it into like a soup or something, man. And it's amazing and it's very easy to digest. You know, that's why I use the analogy as a soup, because it has so many different ingredients, man, that combine in the pot, man. So many different elements and so many different ways that we can uh, tap into our alchemy, you know what I'm saying, and become chemists, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by chemistry, that means using the elements and combining them together. That's the true form of what chemistry is supposed to do. It was with the chemistry that created all of us. And this is what is so profound about the topic that we're going to speak about, the law of Tikkun, excuse me. That's the law, THE, the law, LAW of TIKUN, Tikkun, or Kun. Okay, and this is located on, what page is this? Page 165 here of Yehuda Bird's book, The Power of the Kabbalah. And reads the follows. In common Eastern spiritual traditions, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, bear with me. In common with Eastern spiritual traditions, Kabbalah reaches that which each of us comes to this word with baggage from previous lifetimes. The baggage contains all the situations where we were short-circuited in our past lives or at some forgotten point in life. Okay? Each time we fail to resist our reactive behavior, we have to correct it at some point in the future. Okay, this concept of connection is called tikkun, okay, or tikkun. We can have a tikkun with money, people, health, friendship, or relationships, right? There's an easy way to identify the personal tikkun. Whatever is painfully uncomfortable for us is part of our tikkun. Tikkun. Okay. So this law here, man, this law is very, very, very interesting. The reason why we bring this up is because there are things that we struggle with, and the things that we significantly show repetitive struggle in. This is what we're talking about when we were referring to this law. It's like things that we have a problem, or we have a struggle in dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But it's through fighting and using and fighting and learning through that struggle and hardship that we learn who we are. And this is what this principle is basically representing, man. You know what I'm saying? And how we can identify the areas in our tikkun, or to find this out, we can also use astrology. We can look at basically how we do that is, if you take a journal, right? Just take a journal, write things down, and when they're happening, and when the zodiac, season of the zodiac, when it happens, you know what I'm saying? And keep track of that, basically. And then also keep track of the type of people that you interact with mostly. Get their signs, get their information. And basically, you can study the energy from those people, right? Study the energy of those people. And then also study the energy of um, the state of mind that you were in during whatever particular zodiac season that it was, and study those things. And basically you can start to identify your struggles and what type of energy basically initiated or basically opposed you. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand those energies that are opposing you, then you can learn how to manipulate those energies that are trying to control you. So the weapon that's formed against you, you now form a counteractive weapon towards it. And that's what it means by, and this is what the law of Tikkun basically represents. It gives us the formula on how to be able to defeat this repetition or this normalcy in life that we all maybe have faced or currently are now facing in life. The repetition in the same cycle and going through things over and over again, having the same females, having the same dudes or whatever, for our females. You know what I'm saying? Going through the same thing in life over and over and over and over again. And there's always a lesson that's supposed to be learned. This is why we go through these things, and this is what makes up our microcosmic DNA. It's based on showing, improving, and being able to master this law as a God here on this earth realm. And that's what this law helps you to do. It helps you to activate your microcosmic DNA so that you become who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that struggle that you go through helps you to understand the repetition of the patterns of the things that you need to work and show improve on. And this is what the law of Tikkun basically represents, man. And this is why this is just one concept that he just broke down out of. I mean, I can't even count, man. It's so many gems in this book, man. There's so many gems in this book that we can use to make our life more practical, man, and easy and exciting, man, and knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? And it is just a wonderful read, man. Once again, the name of this book is The Power of the Kabbalah, man. The Technology for the Soul, man. It uses the Hermetic principles, man, and just really, really gives us a very broad understanding of the principles of the original people, man, which are us. This is our text. This is our sacred geometry. You know what I'm saying? When you mean sacred geometry, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about geographics. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about geographics, we're talking about locations and coordinates and mathematics. You know what I'm saying? So you start to understand the shape of how your life turns when you understand and you do the math. When you do the math, you understand all shapes and all types of forms of what life comes through and brings to you, because a test is basically a shape, because a shape is also connected. The vertexes are also connected to the portals to we speak to our ancestors as well. Like everything is done through shapes and through you know one dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional, but all these dimensions contain shape or type of form of foundation. You know what I'm saying? So this book helps us to understand those shapes and those sacred geometry. You know what I'm saying? Or the mathematics of our people. You know what I'm saying? And we know that, unfortunately, there have been some people that have taken this knowledge and have contorted it and try to turn it into a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. You know what I'm saying? The power thereof is the true essence and the true love, peace, unity, and understanding that's supposed to be used, you know what I'm saying, when understanding the Kabbalah. Hey, yo, man, this is Sherrod Peaceful, man. This is the God Cinema 9, man. This is a, quick book review. We probably do these like once a month, man. Y'all subscribe, like, share, subscribe this information, share it with your brothers, share it with your sisters. Hey, yeah, Mikhail's Alchemy is coming through. Need y'all also to subscribe to Project Melanin Recordings, where we got dope beats, we got dope hip hop albums and what have you, man. And we build on the motivation and the science behind hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We also do that here too, man. So Hey, yo, man, it's your 5 Peaceful Man. One time for your mom, one time, and we out one.